Hi there, welcome to the latest video clip from Pilates Leeds, and I've been asked to do a little piece about exercises to strengthen up or tone up the glutes, the back of the bottom muscles and the back of the legs, the hamstrings. So here's a little selection of exercises. So if you start standing, I would say squats, and not just any old squats, deep squats. Now my ankles are a little bit inflexible, so I and many others are much better off if you put your feet on blocks, just to raise up the feet. And then to really work your buttocks and your hamstrings, you need to squat low and down. Be aware that your knees don't particularly track over your toes. And then the real work's going to be coming up. So send your feet down to drive back up, and that's what's going to work glutes and hamstrings. So tailbone, sit bones down towards the floor, send your feet down to drive you up. So you're using body weight to get the kind of tone in the back of the legs. So that's squatting. The next thing is lying down. So and the next thing is what I call a glute bridge. So you're lying down in your normal Pilates rest position, and this is your glute bridge. You're sending your body up, you're hinging, you're not curving the spine, it's a straight body raise. Now you're wanting to work glutes and hamstrings, so be aware that you don't just come up or sort of lead with the spine, you'll end up working your back extensors. You want to work initially hamstrings. The attachment of the hamstrings is the sit bones, which are in your bottom. So have a sense of sending the hamstrings, sending the sit bones into the back of the knees. So it's not up, it's forwards and up. And the higher you go, the more you'll start to engage glutes. So when you're nearly in your end range, have a sense that you're almost pushing up from your buttocks, so that you're working those lower body muscles rather than your back muscles. If you struggle to get really high, your trusty blocks can help. You can put your feet on blocks or a pile of books, something like that, and that can often help you to get a bit more lift and openness. As well as that regular parallel legs position that I've just used, you can take your legs into a little bit more turnout and redo the same exercise, and it tends to target the outer portion of your bottom a little bit more rather than the middle bit. So those exercises work well as a pair. So the third of four things I'm going to show you is you come up and work on your elbows and knees. I sometimes see these exercises done on hands and knees, but it's actually better to come down onto your elbow. It seems to mean that you don't use your lower back as much. So just be aware that you start with your back straight and your head, don't let it flop down. The head is in line with the spine. So targeting just your buttocks, bent leg, and it's bottom up. And if you want to target a little bit of hamstring, have I got enough room? No, I haven't. I'm going to come forward. You can have straight leg raises up and down, that's hamstrings and bottom, or straight leg and bend the knee, and that's going to tend to target your hamstrings. And finally, in this suite, you're back to standing, and you're going to do a roll down. This is a Pilates exercise, and it's kind of known, if you like, as an exercise that works your articulates your spine. But here's the thing, it's a little unusual, but it's a great way to work your hamstrings. I'm going to just turn to the side and I'm going to come down again. So it's the coming up. Okay, so when you're in this position, something's got to bring you back up, and it's going to be your hamstrings and a little bit of glute. So when you're down in this position, shift your body weight off the heels and into the balls of your feet. And then have a sense that you're sending your hamstrings, and again the sit bones, into the knees, and you're dragging your body back up So it's a hamstring exercises, and really come right up to a position where your pelvis is neutral, so that you're being held in a straight position by a little bit of tension through glutes and hamstrings. So I'll just do that again because it is a bit idiosyncratic, this one, isn't it? Down you go, unfurling, and you feel a hamstring stretch. Don't feel you need to touch your toes, and don't bend your knees. You need those legs long and straight. So shift the body weight so you're almost slightly off the heels. Sit bones to knees, so you're tensioning the hamstrings to come up. And be aware that the hips are open and the sit bones are down to finish, and just the act of standing will give you a little bit of work, because these muscles are drawing down to keep you up rather than them being kind of weakened and not really doing the biz. So neutral pelvis to kind of finish. And that's probably enough for now. Next time I'm going to do the inner thighs, and I'll do a few extra exercises for your hip abductors, the outside of the bottom. So that's it for now, folks.